Welcome back to the channel. Thankful to have all of you guys here. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about something that 99% of golfers do wrong. And when you do it wrong, it costs you strokes on the course. So let's dive in. Hey gang, we're so close to 4,000 subscribers. Help us get there. If you know someone who could benefit from single length irons, send my channel over to them, have them subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, go do that right now. And if you have any ideas for videos, leave a comment down below. Shoot me an email, singlelengthschool@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook and Instagram @singlelengthschool or over on X @onelengthschool. Now, let's get back to the lesson. So, the one thing that 99.5% of golfers absolutely get wrong, and it's way before they ever get onto the course, is actually knowing their yardage. What yardage is your 9-iron? What yardage is your 6-iron? What club do you pull to hit a 170-yard shot? That is where so many golfers get it wrong. And the reason they get it wrong is because of the way they go about understanding how far their clubs go. Everybody has to understand that there's an average that your 7-iron goes in the air. There's an average that your pitching wedge goes. There's an average that your driver goes. And 7.5 to 8 times out of 10, when you hit that club, that's the yardage that ball is going to go. Every once in a while, you're going to catch one flush and absolutely kill it. We know we're going to occasionally hosel one, top one, hit one fat. So that all adjusts everything. What we need to do is play to the averages. And so what I see many times with lessons is guys will come to the lesson, say, I hit my pitching wedge 135. Okay, great. Let's hit 10 of them and see where you are. And we come to find out that it's not 135, it's 125. And that's because they're basing it off of the 3 times out of 20 that they absolutely flush the ball. So I'm going to walk through the best way to actually find those distances so when you get out to the course, you can pull the right club. So the first part of finding your distances is having something that's actually going to tell you how far the ball is going. In my case, I have a Bushnell Launch Pro. Now, I'm not telling you to run out and buy a BLP. I'm not telling you to run out and buy a GC3, a GC Quad. Listen, I get it. Money is an object. And so some of these devices can run tens of thousands of dollars and not everybody can afford it. So I understand that. However, there are some lower end options that you can find, and you can even get them on Amazon. Go to Amazon and type in golf launch monitor. You'll find some for a couple $100. Rapsodo has the mobile launch monitor. That's a great option, a great entry point if you want to have your own. Now, one of the other things you can do, and one of the big things that has come about over the last few years, is the driving range and technology at the range. I'm seeing more and more ranges with top tracer technology or something along those lines, where you can actually register for the bay, reserve the bay for an hour, go, hit, and you're going to have a screen that's going to tell you how far that ball went in the air. Now, that's the other part of this. You want to know how far the ball goes in the air. There's going to be other factors once it hits the ground that's going to affect its total distance, but you need to know how far it's going to carry in the air. So, finding yourself a way to measure how far that ball carries is super, super valuable. Now, once you have that device in hand, what's the best way to find your distance for every club? Well, it's obvious. It's hit it, right? And see what the screen shows you. However, I think a lot of guys go about it way, way wrong. They get to the range, they set up their device, and they start hitting. And they'll start hitting 7-iron, and they're just going to go at it and just whack 150, whack 160, whack 130. It's so inconsistent. So the first step of truly understanding how far your ball carries is to warm up. So step one, warm up. Now, once you've hit about 25, 30 balls, get nice and loose. Start with a couple small swings. And what I mean is just find a groove. Doesn't have to be a full swing, but find a groove, right? Find that groove with that club. So I'll hit 3 or 4. In this case, I have my 7-iron. I'll hit 3 or 4 with 7-iron, just nice and loose, making sure I'm getting good contact. From there, now it's time to actually go find how far we're hitting this ball and what our average carry is. Because remember, you're going to hit your average carry distance 7 times out of 10, somewhere in that area. And I'll take those other 3 because it happens. But I need to know that the majority of the time, my 7-iron is going to go 180 yards. So what we want to do is give ourselves a big enough baseline test that we can find that true average. And I'm not saying it's 10 balls because it's not. I recommend about 20 to 30 balls, an even number, 20 or 30, not 25. And there's a reason why. So as you're hitting your balls and you're getting your distances, the other thing you want to do is make sure you have a pen and paper handy or use the notes app on your phone. You're going to mark every carry distance that you hit out of those 20 or 30 balls. So for instance, let's set one up here. And I've got 7-iron. I know about what it goes, but we're going to set up and we're going to take our swing here. That's 165. So shot 1, I would mark down 165. Now, I also know that I caught that a little on the toe and maybe just a hair fat. So that's not going to be my best number. So let's go at it again. That was much, much better. That was a 182 carry with a little draw. So I'm 2 in, I've got 165, I've got 182. Let's hit a third one. Now that one was pured. I really, really felt that. 182. So I've got 2 of my 3 at 182. Now again, these are carry numbers, not total numbers. Let's go ahead and hit a fourth here. That's another one right on 182. And if you don't believe me, there's the numbers to prove it. That one, with the spin numbers, it's going to stay a little right. It's probably going to finish about 3.5 yards right of my target, which out on the course is 10 feet. So I've hit 4 balls. First one, 165. The next 3, 182. And we'll hit one more so I can give you a better idea of exactly how I do my gapping. So let's hit one more here. And that one's 183. So over the course of 5 balls, here's what I'm doing. I'm removing my lowest, which is the 163. I'm going to remove my highest, which is 183. And out of those 5 balls, my average carry is 182. So my 7-iron is my club for roughly 182 yards. So about 180 to 185, a full swing 7-iron is going to put me within 15 feet of the hole. Now, I did it with 5 balls as an example. Over the course of 20 or 30 balls, however many you hit, what you want to do is eliminate your outliers. So what you'll start to see is it's going to paint a picture of a pretty close set of numbers. So I'm willing to bet if I did this over 20 balls, I'm going to see the majority of my numbers between 180 and 185. I'm going to eliminate the outliers. So anything under 180, anything over 185, I'm going to eliminate those. It should still leave me with about 10 to 15 shots, depending on how many balls you hit, that are consistent in distance, somewhere in that 5-yard range. Then all I'm going to do is add them up, do division. So if I add up 10, then I'm going to divide it by 10, and I'm going to come to that average carry number. So I'm going to come to, in this case, 182 on my 7-iron. And this is super, super valuable that you do this for every single club in the bag. Driver, you can kind of get away with it, but you still want to know how far you carry your driver in case you got to carry some kind of object out there, whether it's out of bounds or a bunker or some water. You want to know how far you carry every club. The only one you're not going to do it with is your putter. So go find your distances. When you do it right and you truly know how far you carry the ball, you're going to play better golf. And now you may ask, Craig, why is this so important? Why do you bring this up now? Well, real simple. I've got something coming up. I have an event coming up here in a few days here in Pittsburgh, part of the lead up to the US Open at Oakmont. I'll have some video on it. I don't know if I'll be able to film at the event, but I'm going to give it a shot. It's actually with a pretty big name in the YouTube space. It's not a collaboration. I'm just taking part in the event. So I'm out here doing my numbers. And this is actually a good idea to do a couple times a year. Because as your swing changes, as you make tweaks, your numbers are going to change. So don't do this at the beginning of the year and stop. Continue to do it throughout the year. Update your numbers. And when you're done, you're going to build yourself a card. And I'm going to pop up what mine looks like here on the screen of what your numbers are. Keep that card in your pocket. Keep it in your scorecard holder. Keep it on the steering wheel of the golf cart. So when you get up there, check your GPS, check your rangefinder, and you see you've got a 195 shot to the green. Well, for me, on my card, that's my 6-iron. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helps you. I hope you go out and implement it and put this into your game. And when you do, you're going to see you're going to start to play better golf. You're going to hit more greens. You're going to lower your scores. So, hey, at the end of the day, it's about golfing smarter, not harder, to lower those scores. So thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking the video. I will see you next time.